Okay, greetings, young mathematicians. We are now on our module 2 of this subject. This is our first video lecture since I felt that module 1 was quite manageable. It was just an application of your linear algebra. So in module 2, we are now on network models. Lesson 1 would be about Dijkstra's algorithm for finding the shortest routes. I hope you already have read the preliminaries for this module, the definitions of the important terms in network modeling. Dijkstra's algorithm is an algorithm used in finding the shortest routes. Now, we would take up 2 algorithms in this module. Later, we shall discuss the Floyd's algorithm in our next lesson. But for this lesson, we shall discuss the Dijkstra's algorithm. So, the Dijkstra's algorithm is quite simpler than the Floyd's algorithm, but it is quite limited in application. We can use the Dijkstra's algorithm if we are to find the shortest routes from one source node to any other nodes in the network, whereas the Floyd's algorithm is more general, since just one computation can tell us the shortest routes between any 2 nodes in the network, no particular source node. So again, for Dijkstra's algorithm, the application or the computation would be good only for a particular source node. If you would have to find the shortest route from a different source node, then you would have to apply the algorithm all over again. So in Dijkstra's algorithm, we make use of a special labeling procedure. So we have here the label for the node I. So notice here that the label has 2 components. You have U sub j and I. So this is the label for node J, the label for node J. So let me show you how it works. So suppose that your source node is given to be node 1, and it was established already that the shortest route from node 1 to, let's say, node I, the shortest route from node 1 to node I has the distance, let's say, U sub I. So again, U sub I stands for the shortest distance from the source node 1 to node I. Then suppose we proceed to the next node, let's say node J, which is directly connected or reachable from node I, meaning there is an arc or a branch connecting node I to node J with a given distance of D sub I J. And then node J will then have its label. So there will be a label for node J called U sub j, comma I. So the components of a label in a node would be, first you have the distance from the source node, and then the second component of the label is the preceding node before you reach that particular node. So notice that we reach J through I. Okay, so J immediately follows I. So I would be in the second component of the label for node J. Now, how do we compute for the distance u sub j? U sub j is computed as the distance from the source node to node I. So that is u sub I added with the distance from I to j. So notice that it is given here to be d sub ij. So this would be plus d sub ij. So that is how we compute for this component of the label for node j, the distance of node j from the source node 1. Okay, so if it is the first time that we have computed for this label would then be would then have a temporary status. This would only become a permanent, this would be of permanent status if we can no longer find any other shorter route from the source node 1 to node j. Okay, so from time to time we check the status of our labels. We then lift the temporary status and change it to permanent if and only if there are no other routes that lead from node 1 or the source node to that particular node that has a shorter distance. Okay, so let us now move on to our example. So here we have an example. We have a given network. There are 5 nodes. Take note that we have here the directed branches, the directed edges with their respective distances. So for step 0 of the algorithm, first determine the source node. The problem here is find the shortest routes from node 1. So the source node is node 1 to any other nodes in the network. So to start with, we label the source node 1 with the label 0 blank. Okay, the current distance is 0 and the preceding node is blank because there is no preceding node before 1. The status would automatically be permanent. Okay. Next, for step 2, we take note that nodes 2 and 3, nodes 2 and 3 are directly reachable from node 1. So, nodes 2 and 3 would now have their labels. Their temporary labels. That would be for step 1. Okay, so we proceed with the iterations or the steps with a table showing us the labels of the nodes. So far we have nodes 1, 2, and 3. Node 1 again has a label 0 blank based on step 0. And the status of such label is permanent. Now again, if we would go back to our figure, nodes 2 and 3 are reachable from node 1. So node 2 would now have its temporary label. So it would be computed as, based on our discussion earlier, it would be 0, the current distance, 0 from node 1, plus the distance from 1 to 2, that is 100. So that is 0 plus 100, comma, the preceding node before 2. So that is 1. So again, 0 plus 100, comma, 1. Or in short, since 0 plus 100 is 100, the label for node 2 is 100, comma, 1. So again, the label would be, or the status of such label is temporary. Also, node 3 is reachable from node 1. So 3 would now have its label computed as 0, again since it comes from 1, 0, plus the distance from 1 to 3, so that is 30. So 0 plus 30, comma, 1. So again, since it comes from 1, or in short, that would be 30, comma, 1. The status would be temporary. Okay. Since only nodes 2 and 3 are reachable from 1, they would be the only nodes that would have the temporary labels. Node 4 and 5 do not have labels yet. So, next, among all the temporary labels in our table, we look for that label with a shorter distance. So, we compare, there are two temporary labels here, 101 and 31. We compare the distances in these two labels. Note that the label for node 3 has a shorter distance, 30. So, this would this would be upgraded to a permanent status in our next iteration. So, to mark that, we put an arrowhead here marking that this is the shortest among all temporary labels in this iteration or in this step. Okay, so we proceed to step 2. Take note again that this is marked. This is marked since this has the shortest distance. So that will become permanent. Take note. That is now permanent in this iteration. So permanent ang label sa node 3. Whereas the label for node 2 is still temporary. So how do we proceed? We go back to our figure. Take note, node 3 is the newest node with the permanent label. So going back to our figure, take note that from node 3, we can reach nodes 4 and 5 directly, but not 2 since the direction of the arrow is towards 3, not towards 2. So, only nodes 4 and 5 are reachable from node 3. So, we can now label node 4 and node 5 coming from node 3. So, how do we do that? So, the label for node 4 would be, take note, we copy the distance in the node 3, that is 30. Then we add the distance from 3 to 4. So again, that is 10. So that is why we have here 30 plus 10. Then comma 3. Why? Because we came from 3. We label node 4 through node 3. So that is why the second component for the label of node 4 is 3. Then we compute 30 plus 10, that is 40. So the label for node 4 therefore is 40, 3. Then the status would be temporary. As for node 5, we also apply the same since we come from 3. So the label would be computed as 30, the distance in the label of node 3, plus the distance from 3 to 5. 3 to 5, that is 60. That is why we have here 30 plus 60, then comma 3. Again, since we come from node 3, just listen to it. Then compute 30 plus 60, that is 90. So 90, comma 3. These are the only nodes that can be reached from 3. So this will be the new temporary labels that are computed. So far we have 3 temporary labels. Compare the distances among these 3 temporary labels. We have 101, 43, and 93. Note that 43 has the shortest distance. So this would then be upgraded to a permanent status in the next iteration. So that is why it is marked with an arrowhead here, or with an arrow. So this will be changed to permanent in the next iteration. So we proceed to the next iteration. So this will be permanent now, that the label for node 4. Okay, so we see that the label for node 4 is now permanent. Okay, then the label for node 2, which is 100, 100, 1 would be temporary, and the label for node 5 would be 90, 3 would still be temporary. Okay, do not mind these new changes yet. Now, how do we proceed? Take note that we have recently made the status of the label for node 4 permanent. So we proceed with our algorithm from node 4. Now, going back to the figure, take note that from node 4, we can reach nodes 2 and 5. Okay. 2 is reachable from 4, and 2 does not have a permanent label yet. Okay, its label is still temporary, meaning we can still compute a new temporary label for node 2 using the information from node 4. The same is true for node 5. Because node 5 still has a temporary label. So a new label will be computed for node 5, this time using the informations we can get from node 4. Okay? So take note, from node 4 to node 2 is 15. Node 4 to node 2 is 15. So the new label for node 2 will be, take note, we come from 4. The current distance is 40. So the new label for node 2 will be 40 plus the distance from 4 to 2, that is 15, comma 4. Since we come from 4, we proceed to 2 from 4. So in short, that would be 40 plus 15, you'll have a total of 55, comma 4. But this time 2 has two labels, 101 and 55, 4. One of the labels has a larger distance, or is farther, okay, from the source node 1. One has a shorter distance, 55. So what we do is we crush out the label with a longer distance. Therefore, 2 will now have just one label, 55, 4. But still, the status is temporary. As for node 5 already has its label coming from node 3, which was 93. We now compute a new label from node 4. So the current distance from node 4 is 40. And the distance from 4 to 5, if we go back to our figure, is 50. So we have 40 plus 50, comma 4, the node where we come from. So 94. Take note that the two distances, the two labels rather, have the same distances. So it's a tie. So we have a tie. Here, hence, we do not erase any of the labels. Okay, so since their distances are the same. Now, this means that node 5 has two labels as of this time, 93 and 94. So the status would be temporary for both labels. Okay. Now, as of this time, we still have two temporary labels. That one in node 2 with a distance of 55. And those in node 5 with distance 90. Okay? Note that 55 is shorter or smaller than 90. So this will become permanent, okay, in the next iteration or the next repetition of the algorithm. So that is why we mark this label with an arrow, okay, indicating that this will become permanent in the next iteration. So, we proceed. So, this one will become permanent. So, note, in our next table, 55.4 now has a permanent status. Okay? So, what is left as temporary is that of node 5. So, since we have just changed the label for node 2, we proceed our labeling from node 2. So, we go back to our figure. Node 2. Okay, node 2. Note that from node 2, we can reach node 3 based on this branch here. Okay, we can reach node 3 with a distance of 20. But then, take note that 3 already has a permanent label based on our table. Here, 3 has a permanent label, 31 permanent. Meaning, we cannot compute a new label for node 3. We would only compute a new temporary label if the current label is also temporary. But this time, the node that can be reached from 2, which is 3, already has a permanent label. Meaning, we cannot add any new temporary labels anymore. Meaning, what will be left as a temporary label would be those of node 5. Okay? Recall that node 5 now has 2 labels because there was a tie, 93 and 94. The status is carried here to be temporary. But since this is the only temporary label left, we cannot compare it with any other temporary labels in our table, meaning we do not have a choice but to make this permanent in the next iteration. That is why we mark this label with an arrow. So this will be changed to permanent in the next iteration. So, in our next iteration, we simply copy all the labels but change this status to permanent here. So that's now permanent, the label for node 5. Next, we would go back to our figure to check whether new temporary labels can be computed. Meaning, where can we proceed from 5? Going back to our figure, there are no arrows coming out from 5. So we cannot reach any nodes from 5. If we are on 5, we are at a dead end. We are on a dead end. So no nodes can be reached from 5. Meaning, no temporary labels can be added. Hence, if we look at our table, since we cannot add any new temporary labels, all our labels are now permanent. If we go back to our algorithm, it is stated there that we stop with our algorithm if all labels are permanent. We only stop if all labels are permanent. So, our solution for the problem would be based on this final table. Now, how do we answer the question, the shortest routes from node 1 to any other nodes in the network? So, based on the table, so let us first list all the requirements. We have to look for the shortest routes from node 1 to any other nodes in the network. So we have node 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, And lastly, we have 1 to 5. So we have here the roots, the shortest roots, and will have the distance. Okay, 1 to 2. So automatically we'll have 1 as the start of the root and 2 as the end. If we go back to our table, the final table, the last table, we see that in order to get to 2, or rather the distance, based on the label of node 2, the distance of node 2 from node 1 is 55. So automatically we have 55 here. 55. But in order to get to node 2, we pass through 4. So before 2, therefore, okay, if you recall the label, the second component of the label tells us what node we passed through before we reach the node J, or in this case node 2. So we passed through 4. So therefore we say that before going to 2, we passed through 4. So there is an immediately preceding node to 2, which is 4. Then we check again the table. In order to reach 4, where do we pass through? So in order to reach 4, based on this table, in order to reach 4, we need to pass through 3. So there is a node 3. Node 3 before 4. And then in order to get to 3, where do we pass through? From 3, for the last table, we have the label 31, meaning 1 is the node that precedes 3. So the arrow would be now from 1 to 3. And we have completed the route from 1 to 2. So if we go back to the figure, if we check if it is correct, that we need to pass through 1, 3, 4, then 2 with a distance of 55. 1, 3, 4, 2. Okay, that would be the shortest route because this route has a 100 distance. So that would be 30 plus 10. That would be 40 plus 15, 55. That is the shortest route from 1 to 2. Okay, then we apply the same procedure for the rest of the nodes. So 1 to 3, the distance is 30. So this is 30. We start from 1 and we end at 3. But if we base on the last table, the node that immediately precedes node 3 is node 1, meaning this is a direct route from node 1 to node 3. Okay, straight from 1 to 3 with a distance of 30. Then from node 1 to 4, so we have here node 1. Then we have node 4 here. But the distance is based on the table is 40. So we have here 40. In order to reach 4, we need to pass through 3. So there is a 3 before 4. Then in order to get to 3, we pass through 1. So that would be 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next, we have node 5. The distance from node 1 to node 5 is 90. Take note that even if there are two labels for node 5, the distances are the same. So that same distance, that uniform distance, would be the distance, the actual distance from node 1 to node 5. So we have here 90 based on the table. But in order to get to 5, since 5 has two labels, no, 5 has two labels, there are then two alternatives in order to get to 5. Two options. We either count from 3 in order to get to 5 or pass through 4 to 5. Meaning, there would be two routes towards 5. One coming from 3 going to 5. And another that is coming from 4. So there would be two alternative routes here. One from 3 to 5, then the other from 4 to 5. Okay, then we complete this. In order to get to 3, based on our table, we come from 1. So there would be a direct arrow from 1 to 3, 3 to 5. But to get to 4, based on our table, in order to get to 4, we pass to 3. So there is a 3 here going to 4. And then, from the table again, in order to get to 3, you need to pass through 1. So, that would be now a direct arrow from 1 to 3, completing the route. Meaning, there are two alternative routes from 1 to 5. We can either pass through 4 from 3 or go directly to 5 from 3. Okay? So this is applicable when we are traveling a alternative routes or alternative roads or alternative streets from going from one place to another, wherein there is a possible of traffic jam in one of the routes, so we can pass through the other suggested shortest route with the same distance. Okay, I hope you have understood this and you have worked on the activity, the second activity in this lesson. Okay, so here in this activity, we are given this network and we again are to find the shortest routes from node 1 to any other nodes in the network. So actually the answers are given in the module. So for step 0 or the initial step, we simply label the source node 1 by the label 0 blank with the status of permanent. Then from node 1 we can reach nodes 2 and 3. So the labels for nodes 2 and 3 can now be computed. For label of node 2, we have 0 plus 20, comma 1. That would be 21. Status is temporary. For node 3, that would be 0, 40, comma 1. That would be 41. Again, it is also temporary. Then compare. There are no other nodes that can be reached from 1. Only 2 and 3. So no temporary labels can be computed. Only 2. Those of 2 and 3. Now, comparing the two temporary labels, that of node 2 has a shorter distance. So we mark it with an arrow indicating that this will have a permanent status in the next iteration. So we now move to the next iteration. Here we have node 2 has a permanent label. Node 3 has the label 41. Okay. Now from node 2, we can reach nodes 3 with a temporary label so far, and node 5. We cannot reach node 2 directly from 4 because the arrow tells us that the direction is from 4 to 2, not 2 to 4. So only two nodes can be reached from 2. 3, and 5. So, the new label for node 3 would have the distance, the current distance is 20. Then we add the distance from 2 to 3 based on the figure is 20. So that would be 20 plus 20, comma 2, since we come from node 2. So in short, that is 42 with the status as temporary. Then the new label for node 5, from node 2 to node 5, the distance is 50. So the label would therefore be 20 plus 50. 20 is the current distance from node 2 plus 50, the distance from 2 to 5, then comma 2, the preceding node. In short, that is 72. Status is temporary. There are 2 temporary labels. By the way, 3 now has 2 labels, 41 and 42. We do not erase any of these 2 because the distances are the same. No one is shorter than the other. Okay, so there are 2 nodes with temporary labels, 3 and 5. Those of node 3 have shorter distances than that of 5. So the labels for node 3 would be both permanent in the next iteration. Okay, take note. We have here 2 labels for node 3, 41 and 42. Both now are permanent. Now, we have just recently made node 3. The label for node 3 is permanent. So we proceed from node 3. Based on our figure, nodes 4 and 5 are reachable from node 3. 4 and 5 both have temporary labels. So new labels can be computed from node 3. Okay, the distance from 3 to 4 is 10. From 3 to 5 is 40. So, the new label for node 4 coming from 3 would be 40 plus 10, the distance from 3 to 4, comma 3, or that is 50, comma 3. For node 5, the new label would be 40 plus 40, that is the distance from 3 to 5, comma 3, 83. But note that the former label for node 5 has a shorter distance compared to the new label, 83. So, one of these 2 labels would be crushed out. One with the longer distance. So, the new label will be crushed out. Okay, what remains would be 70, comma 2. So, there are 2 temporary labels to compare, 72 and 53. So, this one will be permanent. This will be marked with an arrow to indicate that it will become permanent in the next iteration. Next. So, we now have these labels. So, this time, that of label 4 is permanent. And if we would check our figure, 5 is reachable from 4. Actually, 2 is also reachable from 4. But 2 has now a permanent label. So, we do not compute for new labels for node 2 anymore. Only node 5. Because node 5 still has a temporary label based on our most recent table. So, node 5 will now have a new label. Since we label it coming from 4, so we copy the distance in the label of node 4, so 50, plus the distance from 4 to 5, that is 20. So that is 50 plus 20, comma 4, the node that we come from. But 50 plus 20 is 70. The new label tied with the former label or the older label. They both have 70 as their distances. So we carry both labels for node 5. Okay, so node 5 has a new temporary label. Since no other temporary labels can be computed, we then compare. But then, take note that we only have one temporary label yet, those of node 5. So we mark it with an arrow and we change that to a permanent label in the next iteration. Okay, node 5. So just recently we made the label for node 5 permanent. So we proceed from node 5. But based on the figure, no nodes can be reached from 5. So we stop there. No temporary labels can be computed anymore or can be added. No temporary labels can be added this time. But if we look at our most recent table, since no temporary labels can be added and all labels are permanent, so we stop, the algorithm stops here. This will be our final table. So we now answer. So this is the destination. Our source node is node 1. The destinations are 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, based on our table, in order to get to 2, we come from 1. So it is a direct route from 1 to 2. Okay, with a distance of 20. There. Okay. Next. 1 to 3. Okay, 1 to 3. The 3 has two labels, 41 and 42, meaning there would be two routes from node 3 for node 3. One which come from 1, so 1 to 3, and one, the other would be ending at 3 but still passing through 2. But in order to get to 2, based on the table, we pass through 1. So there would be a direct route from 1 to 2. So the routes from 1 to 3 would be directly from 1 to 3 or 1 to 2 then to 3. Both have the distance of 40. So this is 40. This is wrong. Change this to 40. Good thing we check. For node 4 has just one label, 53, so the distance is 50. But take note that in order to get to 4, we pass through 3. So 4, then 3. But if we go back to our table, in order to get to 3, there are two options, alternatives. Either we immediately go from 1 to 3 or we pass through 2. So we see here that to get to 4, it passes to 3, but there are two possibilities to get to 3. One coming directly from 1, and the second is in order to get to 3, we pass to 2, then from 1. So 4 has two possible shortest routes from 1, from the source node, node 1. Okay, let us now proceed to node 5. In order to get to node 5, we either pass through 2 or to 4. So there are two possibilities, 2 to 5 or 4 to 5. Okay, let us first complete the first. What we actually do here is we take it one step at a time. Okay? Let me demonstrate that for you. 1 to 5. Node 1 to node 5. How is this done? How is this done manually? Again, if we go back to our table, to get to 5, there are two possibilities, either from 2 or 4. So we write here 2 to 5 or 4 to 5. Then go back to the table. In order to get to 2, you pass through 1. You come from 1. So, it is now a direct route from 1 to 2. So, this is one complete route from 1 to 5. Okay, but the second, take note that in order to get to 5, you pass through 4. In order to get to 4, you pass through 3. So, there is a 3 here before going to 4. Okay, but to get to 3, it is either that you come from 1 or you come from 2. So, this is 3. So, there is another way to get to 3. Either go directly from 1 to 3 or 2 to 3. Okay, then bring this down. 3 to 4. Then 4 to 5. And then check the table to complete this unfinished route. In order to get to 2, you pass through 1. So direct na ni. 1 to 2. Okay, so this is now a complete route from 1 to 5. That is why there are 3 alternative routes if we want to get to 5. Okay, namely 1 to 2 to 3, or 1 to 3 to 4 to 5, or lastly 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and then 4 to 5. All three routes would have the distance of 70. Okay, so that ends this lesson. It's now your turn to work on the learning task. Okay, I hope that this video helped you to understand the lesson. You may want to click the subscribe button and the notification icon in order for you to be notified whenever I upload video for this subject. Thank you for your attention and goodbye.